Hello everybody, welcome back to Auto Anorak. Today we're going to be talking about Stradman and his latest purchase, at least at this point because he buys so many cars, his Tesla Model 3 Performance. And what we're really going to be figuring out is what performance mods, or any mods, is he going to be doing to this car that might determine why he bought it in the first place. Because let's not forget, Stradman has always made fun of Teslas. Yes, he's always said he likes them, and he did show interest in buying a Tesla Model Y, so it's not like he totally hates these things, but he's been very reluctant to get one in the past. So we're going to be figuring out what triggered him to bite the bullet and get a Tesla. So let's get into it. Why Stradman has bought a Tesla and what performance mods he's going to be doing to it. So first of all, Stradman's Tesla has a salvage title, and that's a key factor of this purchase, I think. Stradman didn't spec out his own Tesla. He hasn't got a perfect, pristine one. Now, what does this tell us? Well, if we look at his only other salvage title car, the Lamborghini Aventador Pirelli Edition Roadster, he's bought that car as a salvage title because he's going to be making some extreme modifications to it that would deflate the value of the car if it wasn't a salvage title. The fact that it's a salvage title means that you've kind of already got that depreciation from the car being previously damaged, and it means you're not paying an unnecessary premium for having a pristine car when you're going to be doing some crazy stuff to it anyway that would deter people from buying it. So what crazy work are we going to see in this thing? Well, I think there's two main takeaways that I found from watching Stradman in the past few weeks. The first takeaway is a company called Darwin Pro Aero. Darwin Pro Aero are the people that have done the WideBody kit for Stradman's Nissan R35 GTR, the Bug Killer as it's been called, and that's important to note because whenever you look at Darwin Pro Aero and you look at their Instagram account, it's very easy to get sucked into that Instagram account for hours looking at all the various modifications you can do to cars. I mean, for example, you can make your 911 Turbo look like a 911 GT3 RS, so you could effectively have a 911 Turbo Cabrio and make yourself a GT3 RS Cabriolet. So there's all of these very convincingly done modifications that you can do to a car to make cars that might not even exist, but you might think should exist. They've done some crazy things, so they've even done like a glass cover over front mid-engine cars like the Ferrari F12 or the AMG GTS, and that just lets you look in on those cars just like you can look at the rear glass of a car like a Ferrari 458. They've done that for front engine cars as well. They've even done a full replica of a Lamborghini Reventon, which is one of the very best kits I've ever seen done trying to make a Murcielago look like a Reventon. I personally wouldn't do it still because there's a couple little issues with the body that I can see, and also why would you ruin a perfectly good Murcielago, but to each their own. I think it's a cool kit. And amongst all of these very interesting body kits and things that you can do to your car from Darwin Pro Aero, they also provide a kit for the Tesla Model 3, and it's a rather amazing kit at that. I'm almost certain I've seen this kit on a couple of TikTokers' cars and they have done very well. Everyone wants to see a custom Tesla because Teslas, I would say, are the most desirable cars right now. They're the most desirable car brand for non-car people currently, just because of their technological advancements, just because of how much of a figurehead Elon Musk is. There is so much that's attractive about that brand, especially to young people, the kind of people that are watching Stradman. But the issue is that they don't look that unique. Every single Tesla looks the same. The Tesla Model 3 Performance doesn't look like an M3 competitor, it just looks like a normal 3 Series equivalent. So that's where you've had a couple people come in. There's that company Unplugged that focuses more on the performance side of body kits, and they have done body kits for Tesla Model 3s and made some of the fastest Model 3s in history. But Darwin Pro Aero seem to make one of the more cool, one of the more show car style kits for the Tesla Model 3, and that's also something to keep in mind as well, because I believe Stradman wants to go to SEMA, at least the next SEMA, whenever we can have SEMA because of this horrible pandemic. So yes, I think he's going to be getting this Darwin Pro Aero kit for it because it just looks bonkers. Tons of carbon fiber wide body fenders, carbon fiber splitter, rear diffuser. The rear diffuser even has a little fog light just like a Formula 1 car or some of the more incredible V12 Ferraris like the F12 and the LaFerrari. Along with that, it's got one of the most ridiculous spoilers I've ever seen, a huge massive ducktail on the back of it, kind of Porsche-esque almost. And yeah, I wouldn't say the front end is the most clean. If you already thought the Tesla Model 3's front bumper was ugly and kind of mismatched and just a blend of random shapes, yeah, it's not going to do any favors to that, but the whole point of it is the amount of presence, it's the impact that it has on you as a viewer whenever you're looking at it. It just looks way cooler and more interesting and aggressive than a standard Tesla Model 3, which, let's face it, even Tesla fanboys can probably admit that car, it looks great, it looks nice, but the general shape's kind of like an egg or a a bar of soap. It's not aggressive or angular. I love some of the carbon fiber work on the front splitter of this thing. I love the little pin striping that it has all around it. You can definitely imagine how good that would look in a color similar to the Strad purple, although I don't think we're going to be seeing as much of the satin chrome purple wrap anymore, the iconic purple wrap that Stradman's been using, because he wants to have a little bit more variety, a little bit more of a vast array of skittles, just like Shmee did when Shmee transitioned from having the blue crew to having cars of all sorts of colors. And the next thing, I think he said this in Shmee's video, he's thinking about doing some world firsts on this car.
I want to do like a wide body kit of some kind to it. This car also has a rebuilt title. So these are my only two cars with rebuilt titles. I have some other plans in the work that could be interesting.
Can't talk too much about that yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a world's first, you might say, if we can get it to work.
And this is where things might get interesting. See, I don't know if the body kit is a full justification for that salvage title. I think for a car of the value of a Tesla Model 3, like a body kit's not going to change the value of the car that much. Whereas changing the entire drivetrain or something like that, messing with the car's internals, that I think is something that really justifies a salvage title. So I'm thinking we could potentially see some crazy type of motor in this car. Now I don't know if it's going to be a V8 because Rich Rebuilds is doing a V8 swap in his Tesla Model S. You guys, you need to watch that if you haven't already. It's going to be one of those crazy builds out there, but it could be a different type of engine. Maybe a 2JZ. I know you guys will say 2JZ. It's the way I'm used to hearing it, but we use English here, not American English, so we say 2JZ, okay? Could put a 2J in it because overall, I mean, the 2J is probably the most commonly known engine within car culture, the most commonly known engine to produce huge amounts of power, and there's loads of parts for it just about everywhere in America, so it wouldn't be too difficult for him to work on it. And I know from watching Stefan, his friend's channel, that there's a super specialist shop nearby, so they could maybe work with them and get a 2J in the Tesla Model 3. I don't know, this is the more speculative thing. To me, I can't see why he wouldn't have the Darwin Pro Aero kit. I think that seems a lot more likely than this swap, but he did talk about having a world first, so the 2J Tesla Model 3 would 100% be a world first. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think this is an interesting topic to talk about because I really do think that Tesla's been kind of like scrubbed under the carpet recently in the recent videos. No one really talks about it. Strad doesn't really talk about it. I mean, you can see why no one does. It just gets unnoticed in the corner, but this could turn into one of the craziest builds on automotive YouTube and could serve to be one of the showstoppers of the next SEMA show. Also, the Tesla Nation, I need to hear from you as well because I know there is a very strong army of Tesla lovers and followers, and I'm totally okay with that because I do quite like Teslas as well. Are we moving into a point in time where we're now going to get electric purists? Are there people that think that he shouldn't swap the electric motor out of it, keep the integral sort of personality of that car, and not go with a combustion engine? Let me know your thoughts down below, but I think this could get very ironic very quickly because like most Teslas in the state of Utah have those sort of vanity plates that basically boast about the fact that they're electric. He might have a vanity plate that boasts about the fact that his Tesla isn't electric, so that could be a kind of interesting dynamic to follow. Tesla Nation, what do we think? That's something to hopefully look forward to. Let me know your comments down below. Do you think this is going to happen? Should it be a 2J? Should it be some other kind of engine? Let me know. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys watching these videos, and I'll see you in the next video.